before we go into the first public hearing, today is Veterans Day. And in honor of all the veterans, the town of Stafford office will be closed on Monday, November 11th of 24. That was today. But with all respect to our veterans, some of whom are here and some of whom are not, we thank them for their duties.
Any veterans here? Stand up or raise your hand.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Genesee County Notice of Public Hearing, that's the first. Please take notice that the preliminary budget for the town of Stafford for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2025 has been completed and filed in the office of the town clerk at 8903 Route 237 Stafford, where it is available for inspection by any interested persons during regular business hours. Further notice is hereby given that the town board of the town of Stafford, New York will meet and review said preliminary budget and hold a public hearing thereon at the town hall, 8903 Route 237 Stafford, New York, on Monday, November 11th, 2024 at 7 p.m., at which time all interested persons will be heard in favor of or against any items contained therein. Pursuant to section 108 of the town law, the proposed salaries of the following town of Stafford officials are as follows. Supervisor, $14,560. Councilman, for each, $5,981. Town justices, 2 each, $27,000. Highway superintendent, $74,800. Town clerk, $43,000. Tax collector, $6,000. Registrar of Vital Statistics, $700. By order of the town board, Barbara Radley, town clerk. This is the first public hearing. If anyone has any questions at this time, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
With the firemen with their new fire truck they're getting in there, and now you set it up for what, 4 years at 200,000 extra over and above what they normally get? Was that a 4-year deal, or was it gonna go on longer than 4 years? I mean, you were giving them 200,000 roughly, and you give them another 100 and some thousand, bring it up to 400 and some thousand. Now, is that gonna continue on at that, or is that just a?
Oh, all right. From the meeting that we had over in the fire hall, it was supposed to be a significantly increased amount to catch them up. At 405, 406,000, I forget which one it is. And then in 2026, there should be a substantial reduction.
Just keep in mind about 2026, we're gonna have to start saving to replace one of the large, because the attack truck now, 9.2, is gonna be, it's gonna be 5 years old by then? So it's gonna be halfway through its life cycle, and by the time we get to replace that, it's not gonna be 1.2 next time, I guarantee it. And maybe it will, let's hope everything comes down, but we're gonna have to start, we're already putting money into the account, but we don't wanna get way behind again and have to come in and go, hey, listen, we need 500,000 for 3 years to catch up to buy another truck. So just keep that in mind. We're not gonna fight anything, you guys. We tried to get, what, 20,000 more than the previous year? Apparently, allegedly, the previous chief said that we wouldn't change. We're gonna leave it the way it is this year. We're not gonna fight it, but we don't know what it's gonna be next year because we're operating in a deficit at this moment. So we're gonna keep things going, but we don't know what's gonna happen next year. There's no promises being made for next year. How's that? We'll run the numbers again next year.
The truck that you're trading in, how old is that?
But
It's a 2001.
It's what?
2001. So it'll be over 20 years old. And the tank is over 20 years
And how many miles in it?
They don't care about miles and where they start talking.
How did the pump check out when they tested it? They're supposed, should test them every year.
Hasn't been done yet this year.
Probably pumping like you did with the new one.
That's when we had that sort of for a parade a couple of years ago because the transmission froze up on it too, so.
I understand you're
Yeah.
up and down.
Yeah. We're going from 3 to 2, so do what we can, do what we can.
But I also would like to see as a member of the Stafford Fire Department of start doing something to generate some funds of their own. That's how we used to do
That's
it.
what the social members are for.
But they have time to do it, don't let them.
Who's got time to do that?
They have
Yeah,
plenty of
so
time.
taking time out of training, and here for
So,
this.
right, so you expect these gentlemen back here to volunteer, they're all volunteers. So you expect them to do hundreds of hours of training every year. You expect them to leave their families. You expect them to get up in the middle of the night, leave their jobs, all for free. And now you want to do fundraising on top of that? That's what
Yeah,
social
I
members
do.
are for.
We did the same thing that you're doing, and we marched every weekend, we played baseball 2 nights a week, we bowled on the bowling team for the fire department, and we built a hall.
What year was that?
What's the difference?
Training's a lot,
Huge difference
training's a lot
between
different
that
now
and
than it used to be.
Your training requirements were a lot less than what we have to do now.
You wouldn't believe what they are now.
I think it's time the town looked into fire districts anyway, I mean, that's the way to go.
Now, this is a discussion for another time. This is our meeting for the budget, so let's continue. We have limited time. Thank you.
Just one more point. I'm glad you guys did keep with what was laid out previous.
Yeah, again, I wasn't here for any of that, so we'll make it work.
A couple of things I think we should be better at is, we did over the past few years start to get regular financial feedback, which we really never got before. And we probably should have, just like we had with the, when this plan was laid out. You're supposed to start the budget process with the fire department on August 1st. We probably should have a meeting between the board and your guys' board and go over some of the preliminary directions of the budget, so.
Good idea. And that was exactly the time we didn't have a president, so.
I know.
Okay, so. We've got a new treasurer, she's doing fantastic. She just got started up. We've got our computers back up and running where we can actually input. We know where money's going. We're back to operating administratively as normal, so.
The beauty of that meeting was, as the discussions developed, you could walk out and look at
Perfect.
what was being talked about.
Exactly.
And that meeting kind of carried us through 3-4 years of adverse conditions. So why don't we try to target that every year?
Perfect.
Can I make a comment? It's on the budget, right? I did a little bit of research, and there's other towns our size that doesn't give their fire departments for fire protection more than 300,000, and they have their trucks. So is the truck fund is what we're looking at, the extra money on?
I think it was the overall budget we were talking about, but they
Well,
were
in terms
discussing
of
the
the
actual
overall budget,
Right.
the reason why we have the budget the size we do was because coming out of when they were doing such extensive fundraising with the carnival, they actually didn't apply enough towards the truck, and we had to do catch-up.
And one other note, that a lot of those other fire departments are financing those vehicles. If that's the route the town wants to take, we can finance it, it just costs the town that much more. We've always been trying to stay ahead and pay cash for it basically without having to pay finance charges.
So did we.
Okay.
And now we got bonds on 2 plow trucks.
That's fine, that's how the town can make that decision in a couple of years.
Well, again, that's why, like I said, we need to repeat what we did when this plan, when it was just a complete emergency.
It's a good idea.
How much was the original cost of the new truck?
Which one costs us, which new truck?
Pardon?
Which truck, the one we're replacing?
The one you're getting,
The one we're getting is gonna be 1.2.
well, didn't it start out a lot less than that?
No,
Is it 1.2? Is it gonna stay there? Or is it
it's
gonna
already
keep going up?
It's already been ordered. is not going up. And just for reference, East Pembroke bought a truck very similar, but with less water, 1.3.
You haven't got this truck yet.
No, it takes 2 years.
And they don't have theirs either.
Minimum, it's hard to get anything out.
I took notes at the meeting that kicked this all off, and it was a guess, but the guess was at that time, based on how the trucks were increasing, that was gonna be 1.2 million.
I'm good with the fire department, so. I mean, shift hands.
Question on the proposed budget that the court submitted. As I look at what you have here for your preliminary budget, one of the clerks, you had cut the hours or cut the pay. And I was wondering if you could explain to me why that got cut and what I had proposed. What the court had proposed.
We took one back to part-time with a set number of hours. Those hours even got cut further.
I'm a little vague on that one. Not to answer this question.
Yeah, not this. No, this is pretty much budget.
Yes.
We took one clerk back from full-time to part-time at 20 hours, and you cut it back to 10.
We had, just to recap, for the past few years, we've had 2 full-time clerks at 31 hours a week. And during the 2024 budget process, you had asked us if there was any way that we could start cutting back on some of our expenses for the court. And we investigated that, and we said for the 2025 budget, that we had made cuts to court security, contractual expenses, and we reduced the number of hours from one of the full-time clerks, and we had proposed 20 hours a week from 31. And as a reminder too, this salary position over the past few years has not exceeded, in fact, it was less than what was budgeted for the year. And it's been that way for the past couple of years. That's why we were comfortable with reducing it back to a part-time position. And in the past, the part-time position had 26 hours to it, and this year we're asking that it be 20 hours. And the full-time clerk used to be 37 hours, and that's been reduced to 31 hours. So the court, I think, has done their job in trying to meet your expectations for your budgets every year. And I'd just like to have an answer as to why I proposed 20 hours for this position, and it seems like it's been cut to 10. And I just want to have an answer as to why that was.
From the tentative budget dated 9/30, it was at, I think for what you're looking for, it was at 22,152, with a 32% reduction. And in the preliminary budget, it's at 11,076 with a 66% reduction. I remember a lot. You guys know I got a big mouth on this stuff, but I don't recall the discussion on this. I can't show you what
All right, we'll end the first public hearing
Oh,
next.
I got lots of budget questions.
We're not done with this one yet.
Oh, with,
Notice of public hearing, Town of Stafford. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing.
Hold it.
You didn't answer our question yet.
We have to answer his question. I believe there was some discussion about it. Jimmy, you're gonna help me here, but we decided that you had cut some and that we would cut some. I'm not sure how it all ended up, but it was because of the amount of work that's there now compared to when I
Okay,
think.
so how would you
Hasn't
know how
changed.
much work is there?
That's not changing.
See, the other thing that I have a problem with too is you make the cut, but you never consulted the judges on why the cut was being made. And that's my question. I want to ask, what was your mindset? What was your thought process? Why did you think it was
Well,
necessary?
that could have been the thought process, but I just
Okay,
discussed them not.
but it makes no
I
sense to
don't-
me because
Of course not.
it wasn't, I mean, it's our responsibility to run the court.
Yes.
And if you have something that you feel the need to cut in our budget, I think we should be allowed to know what that is
Give our
for
input.
and ask for our input on that so that we can still operate the court efficiently and effectively. And this position going to 10 hours doesn't do that, okay? Now, I'm willing to work with you guys. If you can't bring it back to 20, I would ask for at least 15 hours. That we could do. And that would bring the position to $16,614.
Well, that would sound reasonable to me.
Sounds reasonable.
I mean,
Like you commented, you know the workload.
Yes.
We really don't. We only went with what we thought was going on there, if I recall. Anyways, I'd be willing to do that. Barb, are you getting all this?
16,614, right?
Yes.
I think that's a very reasonable compromise.
I appreciate it. Thanks for hearing me out.
You're welcome.
This will probably come up later on. Don't forget the one thing we measure is we're looking at revenues for 223. That's just a couple of years back. And we look at what we've got for revenues, and I know what the answer
You
is.
do. You already know what we're gonna say.
Yes, that you can't
We're not revenue
equate
generators,
fines like that, but it simply says the activity is significant.
That black file cabinet there is all unpaid fines.
Yeah.
So there's what you're looking for, we just can't collect.
We're doing our best to do that, but
Can I say, even though tickets might be down, every time Albany makes a change, there's something else that's added to our workload. It's not that there's not work for us to do.
I can tell you for absolute certainty, I couldn't do her job. They don't teach us how to use that computer at all. Yep, don't even give us a sign in for it.
But I appreciate you guys coming halfway. Thank you.
You're welcome. Who's next?
Okay, the notice is hereby given in
Wait, we still have more,
Candy
Bob.
has another question.
Can't stop it.
Can't stop budget meeting, right? So I have a question, if we can go back to the personnel raises. So you guys want an extra 300 each, right? I'm understanding from 56 to 59, so 369, $1,200 more. How much more work are you guys doing? That, I'm not sure what the court clerk's name is.
Quite a bit.
I'm Terry.
Terry.
Well,
Um,
you guys been here a lot longer than me, but I think the last time the town board got a raise was how many years ago?
Probably when I was still on it.
About 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I
7
did
years
some more
longer.
research.
So,
Town board
if
members.
you'd like me to finish, I will.
Okay.
So for 7 years, they haven't done anything, and now we're into solar decisions, we're into water districts that, man, I do a lot of work with that stuff, and I just think there's more there than there used to be, and $300 I don't think was crazy, but that's just my opinion. We got 4 others here.
Well, I did compare with all the other towns about our size, and nobody makes over $4,000, town boards. So are you saying,
Now, when we figure out money, we don't look at other towns. Period.
well, Mr. Panic tends to compare all the time to
Well, that's
other
him.
towns,
care
so
about other
I'm just thinking, if you're gonna compare other towns all the time to things, that, I mean, they make under 4,000. So maybe they're not as busy as you guys?
Probably not.
Okay.
I know I've done a calculation on it, especially when we have the solar law and all the things that went with that. And I was earning well under the minimum wage, being a town board member.
Okay.
I can vouch for that.
I have another one then. The auditor, hers going up like that, was that in her contract that she gets that big of a raise? I thought that was from another meeting, so. Town attorney, 18,000 a year. I think we're over that now already, aren't we? This year? And it's only,
Could be.
I mean, I totaled it up from what I got, and it's quite a bit. It's like 14,000, and that was to the end of July. So we got August, September, October, November, December. We got 5 more months. There's 2 of them here at about $300 an hour, and this is going to be combined probably more than that. And this meeting's going to go on for probably 3 hours, so $900 for these guys to sit here.
So they'll be out of here before that time.
Oh, okay. So I think 18,000, is that going to be lawyers' fees like forever? Is that just because we're dealing with the coroner and I don't know what else you guys deal with? I think you're just focused on the coroner.
There's a lot behind that too.
Oh, yeah, and solar, because I got the lawyer's
And
fees.
enforcement is always way more expensive than compliance, way more.
Okay, enforcement, are we enforcing anything else with any other book?
Well, you have to realize that during the year, no one gives us a list and says, this is what's gonna happen this year. So as it comes, we gotta deal with it.
Right, I understand that, and looking at iFoil requested, of course I did,
You have 1,000 pages.
the 38 pages of legal fees, just in case anyone else is interested. $162 for Barb to talk to the lawyer about me. So I foiled a request for more information on that, just as, guess I would like to know what
I
I...
would've spent more.
I know, sure. Just give me what you're talking about, that's all I appreciate. Highway supervisor, that's good. employees. What's contract, the highway one got me really confused, Steve, so. It says highway garage and it says equipment and there's no line. There's zero under that, but under contractual, it's 26,000.
There'd be supplies and repairs.
Oh, okay. I really liked getting this budget ahead of time, so I really thank you for making that available. What is publicity for $1,000? Is that like ads, when they have to do the public ads?
Isn't that the Chamber of Commerce?
Yes.
Well, that should come off. I thought you, at the last meeting, you said you weren't gonna do the chamber ad. So we can take that 1,000 off?
Yeah, that occurred after
Yeah,
the preliminary.
yeah. So this $1,000 can come off, that's good. That'll help with the court clerk's work. Director, this is under recreation, this one threw me. Director Personal Services, $5,000. Under Parks and Recreation, is that the summer program?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
The park, $200, down from 800. Elite Park, is that how you say it? Elite, Islet Park. Have the steps been fixed? Because last time I walked on them, I almost fell through. You took them down from 800 to 200. Who takes care of the gazebo?
I was on them the other day, at a wedding there, it was fine.
Oh, really?
I didn't fall through.
Well, maybe
You
they
shouldn't fall
fixed
through.
them, it was, yeah. But not by much.
It was probably,
I wasn't on it since last Christmas, so maybe they did it.
I just did a wedding
From the
there last
Christmas?
week, it was good.
probably longer than that, because normally ones like that are based on usage. We just look at the usage and budget the
Okay.
previous usage.
Well, it's good that it came down. Historian. What does she do? Because I've met her, and I asked her what she did, and she said she writes reports and collects information on the historian, the history of Stafford, but I've never seen a report come through to her. I mean, do you know what she's done all year? I'm just asking, very nice lady.
I haven't had any interaction with her, so.
She doesn't, I attended 3 historical meetings and she wasn't at any of them, so I asked her and she said she has a different position now with the church and stuff, so she's really not in town much. Can we sort of look at that? No other town pays a historian $1,400 as well. Those are all under 1,000.
All right, and I have another notice of public hearing. Notice is hereby given.
No, I'm sorry, I'm not done, Bob. Tree lighting ceremony, 2,500. That's for the, I think I just saw an ad for that, the music and the stuff, so that one is understandable. ZBA personal services, that's their monthly fees, the $5,000?
I would say so.
ZBA, okay. See, this is, I missed the budget workshop. I'm sorry, I was out of town, so. But here's my big one. State retirement went up $20,000. Who all gets a state retirement?
I get it.
Highway,
Everybody who works for the town.
everybody that works for the town, and it's gone up $20,000?
That's a Kathy Hochul question.
Okay.
There's no question. I never told her that one.
She's a little slower with her answers, but she does answer me.
What the
In lieu-
answer probably will be is investments I know it happens with the school district, so it'll be the same thing in,
So all of yous get a pension?
It's a
No.
mandate to put
no,
that?
no, because you have to participate in it.
Oh, okay.
You have to pay money into it.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So we're not paying it, but we are,
the-
obviously.
The investments, if they fall below targets, the money has to come from somewhere. And it's gonna come directly from the entity that employs those people.
Which is like our taxes. Okay.
Yes. So with the stock market way up, and it's never as good. The stock market way up, then that should go down, but it never goes down like when the stock market goes down and they go to collect.
In lieu of medical insurance, I know other towns are dealing with this. Is that capped here in Stafford?
Yeah.
It is capped. Almost done. Miscellaneous local services, sources, $7,000. Can you give me an idea of what that is?
Do you have a page that you're on?
Nope, they're not paid. Town of Stafford Water Fund preliminary, page 1, but it's halfway down. SW 2770. I'm waiting for the chart so I know what those mean. Here, I'll count. 1, 2.
No, they all have,
They have a heading.
yes, and then it has a page
Right.
number under the heading.
So this says Town of Stafford Water Fund preliminary, 10/2/24, page 1.
Highway,
It says revenue, real estate taxes at the top.
trying to find it. Highway. Page 1, water fund preliminary, 10-2. That one?
I don't know the time. Come on, Robert. Let's see, come on.
Maybe it's after.
Miscellaneous interest funds.
Is this it?
7,000? Yeah.
Have to ask, I'd have to ask Municipal Solutions if.
Is that what that's under, that's municipal solutions? That's,
No, we pay Municipal Solutions.
well, a lot more than that.
Yeah, miscellaneous interest will come from-
Bingo. I bet you that's what it is.
What is it?
It's probably interest income from when we hold the, that's the only thing that could probably be a source on this. Well, we can ask.
Okay. Intertransfer to other funds, that's just when you're taking something from one fund and putting it in another. Like instead of paying the town to do the taxes, we pay Barb. That's like an inter fund thing, transfer back then, or not now, but something like that.
Well, there's multiple interfund transfers. We can adjust during the year. If one account doesn't turn out as costly as another, and we have another account that is going higher, we do that during the year. At the end of the year, we don't spend all the money that is collected, normally. Normally, there's a residual, and that's used towards the next year's budget.
Okay, then my next one I am on highway. Highway, page 1, under transportation, under appropriations. Transportation, general repairs, personal service, 91,000. Is that your salary? That's not your salary.
No, it's payroll.
That's payroll. Okay, see, they should just say payroll. It would, wouldn't it? And then what's contractual? If you have to hire someone else? Oh, that's supplies?
Stone, blacktop, miscellaneous.
Snow removal. Is that paid to us, or that's what you pay for snow removal?
That's the cost of labor and
Okay.
and materials.
Okay. That's our cost. And we're not getting any state aid this year? In 25? State aid was like 0.
Right, we don't pencil that in till like April, May, when the governor makes her budget.
Decides? Okay.
Because there's years
So that's
that
a
she
state thing, okay.
threatens to not give it.
Sale of equipment. You didn't sell anything this year? I thought you did.
Nope.
Oh,
Last year you did, right?
Yep, last year.
miscellaneous. That's kept. Pilots. What are the pilots? We don't,
Flies the plane.
Pilots are when the, trying to think of the name of the people that are headquartered right across the college, and they do the tax rebates to certain businesses. So that comes in as a pilot rather than as.
under real
taxes.
estate? Oh, okay. Penalties, da-da-da, franchise, that's the cable company, right, the 30,000? Did that go down? They used to pay us like 32,000. Wasn't that a contract?
I think that's based on customers. So as they lose customers, it goes down. Because it's on your bill.
Don't forget, under that section of the budget, those are estimates.
Right.
We
Okay.
don't know until they actually pay it, so we look at the previous year. I think for the court, we estimated, what, 80? We did estimate 100 for last year, didn't we? We estimated 80 this year. And we're at 49. This is where it comes up.
Okay, there was nothing in 24, nothing in 25, but in 23, we had this unclassified revenues of 53,000. Would that have been something from the state? Because, I don't know. 23, I don't think they were giving us anything extra. That's on second to last page. Or close.
Could that be one of the payments from the, what is it, ARPA? I'm not sure, but.
That's what we got paid. It could have been, yeah. Could have been one of the.
53? Well, they were 100 and something and 100 and something each time, and then tax in interest, but I don't think we made 53,000 in interest. But. So bottom line on this very last page, where it went X down like 200,000, does that mean our budget is lower this year? The proposed budget is lower this year than last year? very last page. Page 3 of the general fund. I made a lot of copies for people, so I might have these out of whack.
No.
Yeah, but I don't know if I stapled them in the right order.
No.
This one. So this says modified budget of 24.
General fund, townwide, preliminary, page 3. General fund, townwide, preliminary, page 3, and it looks nothing like yours.
This one goes.
You got it?
Yeah, that's the one.
What are you trying to find?
Yeah, it might have been on the whack. So this is the modified from last year. This is the proposed from this year.
Right.
So there's a big difference. So does that mean this year's proposed budget is lower than last year? Am I reading that right?
Hang on. Isn't this revenues? Thank you for finding this.
Yeah, those are all revenues.
That means our revenues are down
The revenues are down?
200,000. That kind of makes sense.
So bottom line on this whole big budget, is our taxes going up again? Because that I would thought would have been
Yes.
part of the budget, to tell us that. What was our tax rate last year?
Last year was, just the town,
Well,
No, it's,
we'll do town and then fire tax. I think, I don't know. if the-
everything was 315, town was 183, or
180,
148, excuse
I was
me,
gonna say,
excuse me.
148, and then it was what was fire?
Last year,
124.
no, 167.
167.
Yeah, that's what I had. So 2 years ago, we were at 89 cents a thousand, and now we're going to what?
it's fine.
Well, the easiest way, actually, the easiest way to look at it is amount to be raised by taxes is 375,000.
The easiest way for me to know is how much my taxes are going up. So what's the tax rate? I can figure out how much my house was assessed for, and I can do that
For
assessment.
$25.83.
So it's now 315. No, it was 315. What's it going up to? I'm sorry?
315 was,
$1.48 for 24.
349. 340 then.
340. So it's going up 349.
yes.
So 34 cents more per thousand. Are there any realtors in here? Oh, that's right. Sorry, Bob. Okay, just wondering. I'm done. I'm done with my budget questions. Anyone else with budget questions?
The only other thing we had was that information on that sign, and she's got the stuff for the flag, but you want to do that during the regular?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
So it's another public hearing.
Something real simple, Bob. When we're doing the budget next year, my suggestion would be, I know you all work with it, throughout the year, so a lot of it is very familiar with it. But when you're looking at some of those line items, it's kind of hard to know what it is. You look at it, you know it, you move on, but maybe think about maybe adding something to those line items so a lot of these questions don't have to be asked, and you can just get through it, because a lot of it is, so once you tell us, it's pretty self-explanatory, but this may be something to
process for the next time we do this?
I believe we have to format it in a particular format because it does get passed on to the state. So it would require an entirely different report than what we have.
Or maybe even a sheet that can be handed out with the report that maybe could say on this line item, maybe give a little bit more detail, so it might save some time and some frustration with some of the people.
Probably the easiest would be to have a list of accounts available.
Yeah, I requested that, I'm waiting on that. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Now you can.
Notice of public hearing. Notice is given that a public hearing will be held by the town board of the town of Stafford at the town office located at 8903 Route 237 on the 11th day of November 2024, commencing at 7:15 p.m. We're only half hour late on that one. To give citizens the opportunity to consider a proposed local law that will allow the town board to adopt a budget for the fiscal year 2025 that requires a real property tax levy in excess of the limit specified in the General Municipal Law, Section 3C. Section 3C, the General Municipal Law, sets property tax cap on the amount that a local government's property tax levy can increase each year. Said cap is 2% or the rate of inflation, whichever is less, with some exceptions. Local communities here have the ability to override this cap with the adoption of a local law. All persons interested in the subject matter of this hearing will be entitled to be heard at the time and place thereof. A copy of the proposed amended local law is available for review at the town clerk's office during regular office hours.
When is the hearing?
Right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Right now is the public hearing.
Oh, so you guys are gonna vote on whether or not you're gonna raise this? 1 or 2%? Right now?
No, we're not going to vote right now. It's a public hearing on the proposal to go beyond the 2%.
Well, I vote no. I second that.
I vote no too.
Wouldn't it, in this high rate of inflation and just crazy stuff, wouldn't it be better to curl back on like spending and raises and stuff?
Well, you said it, when you started your statement, you said it, during these times of everything in this town costs more money, including stone, including everything else.
Electric.
So, I mean, you have a budget at your house, and you know that it's not getting any easier, and neither's mine.
No, and I'm cutting back on stuff. I'm not going out and buying more stuff.
And so did we, but our reserve is about gone from years past.
How much is in our accounts? I know you're gonna do the financial statement later, so I'll just have you read that then.
The only thing I can say is, in the last 30 years, we really haven't done a lot for the average taxpayer in this town. We bought a lot of equipment, we got new equipment for everybody, but I haven't seen a real thing that you've done, like a track around out back here for these people that wanna walk, or sidewalk in, or, there's a lot of little things. You just got a windbreak this year, what, a couple $100,000 back from that, whatever it was, COVID or whatever.
American Rescue Fund.
So maybe it'd be nice to put something in the town for the average taxpayer instead of just buying equipment.
We have a list for
Seems to be
that
what
here.
we're doing.
We have a list put together for all those things, and we voted on it.
Well,
Yeah, but it was more equipment than,
Well, we were never given $238,000 either to do it, so.
And again, the environment we're in, and Kathy pointed to it, that we compare ourselves to other towns. We request the second lowest amount from our taxpayers. We have the fourth lowest property tax rate.
Are you sure now?
Oh, I guarantee you.
Okay, 'cause that's my next research, after everybody's budgets.
All right, well, you can get these numbers from the county.
Yep, I asked him.
All right, I've got them right here.
Okay.
Stafford last year asked for 300,000, we're asking for 375. But in comparison to last year, and I doubt if any of these people will go down, Alabama asked their taxpayers for 317,000.
Give me percentage. Do you have the tax percentage?
Let's see. If Stafford is considered 100%, Alabama's at 106%, Pavilion at 135%, Pembroke at 136%, Leroy at 146%, Bethany at 156%, Byron, a little bit down the road, and you'll be paying 171%.
On assessment?
No,
Or that's-
on what they ask the taxpayers to fund. We ask you to fund, last year we asked you, because I only have last year's numbers, they haven't issued the numbers for this year. Last year, we asked the taxpayers for 300,000. Byron asked the taxpayers for 513.
Okay, how much did we make? If you asked us for 300,000, what was our budget last year? That we had to come up with, 300,000?
No, the
that's what I mean.
remainder of it comes from sales. The majority the majority of the town budget comes from sales tax.
And we did really good on that. I do have
No,
those
they
figures.
cut it.
They cut it.
Yeah, yeah.
We cut it.
They don't necessarily have to share sales tax with us. Orleans County doesn't. I'll pay probably, what is it, 183 on my house. The land I own in Barry, I'll pay just shy of 13 per thousand. But again, everybody does get sales tax. I'm just going through the list. Pavilion's at 404, Pembroke's at, this is thousands, Pembroke's at 410, Leroy's at 438, Bethany, who's very similar to us, 469, Byron, again similar to us, 513,000, Elba, 578,000, Alexander, again very similar to us in size, they asked their taxpayers for 604,000, or close to double
Okay,
what we asked for.
so I asked the county treasurer how much Stafford got paid in sales tax. We got paid $157,778.60 4 times.
Yes.
So that comes up over our 300,000. Or you're asking us for 300,000 more on top of that?
Our budget is all of that plus the 375,000.
So how much do we
for
pay
this year.
how much does the town of Stafford get from our taxes? This, only 300,000?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, last year was only 300,000. This
Yeah,
year will be
Byron's 500,000.
375,000. The majority of your tax bill is paid by the sales tax. And again, the difference between a county that shares revenue and a county that doesn't shows up. A lot of you guys own Orleans County property. It's literally 10 to 12 times the tax rate.
Yeah, way up.
And the county tax rate doesn't come down in any way, shape, or form. Matter of fact, I think Orleans County one year was the highest percentage taxed county in New York.
In the state.
Yeah.
Okay. I still vote no.
Everybody else? Close it.
We don't need to try executive session.
We don't need that stuff.
That's the thing.
We need a motion at this time to go into executive session.
Are we done with questions? Close the public hearing.
Public hearing at 7:55.
Make a motion, we go to executive session.
You inviting anybody?
We should invite our clerk and our highway superintendent.
Okay. Building codes.
And our attorney, yes, absolutely, our attorney and our code enforcement officer.
And Mr. Supervisor, the basis for going into executive session is to discuss ongoing litigation.
What about all the other items?
Just as soon as we
We'll
get
do it
back.
when we get back.
After the executive session. So you'll
Guys, take a break.
Trying to save you money.
See that smoke the other day on the
What do they have in there anyway?
dog food. He had, they take food, and they grind it, mix it with other stuff, so make dog.
They take bread, candy bars, everything.
I went church Sunday, and still stunk with smoke in front of her.
I don't even, where was it? Harvester? Where was it?
He had a couple of
It's a fire about once a year.
Nothing ever makes it in. So think of all the things that just
Didn't just burn up. It's all gone.
get some.
House has got a stink terrible.
Was that Howard?
Everybody has a,
Yeah.
everyone in Barnes,
Oh, yeah. Couple times.
If your name is John Smith from University of Buffalo, you're known for kicking your reason. Is your first time job? Yeah. Well, there's that. Should we tell you the rest of the names?
Yes.
That's what 50 million people.
one down.
Senior exemption. Can you just do the senior exemption?
Yeah.
Right now.
Right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So regular meeting will start at 8:30.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, item number 6 on the agenda is the approval of the assessor. I'm continuing to process exemptions as they come in. The renewal forms were all sent out in September, but they are slowly starting to be returned. In preparation for the water district number 15 being put in, I've been going through the spreadsheet that Jeremy from Clark Patterson put together for the bond. and on assigning units accordingly and adding them to the file. This is a time-consuming process due to the size of the district, but I didn't want to wait until the last minute to figure out what units should be. Water charges will not be put on any tax bill until the town tells the county they are ready to add the ad valorem charges. I will be on vacation from December 6th to the 16th. Any questions?
No.
Bob, what happened to 1 through 5? You went to 6.
We're coming back to that.
Okay.
Barb, if you want, I can speak to it. Is this what we're talking about,
Yeah.
tax?
Yeah.
Mr. Supervisor, I can explain the background of this law. Probably in early October, Barb contacted me and I spoke to the assessor, and we were trying to determine how to increase the senior citizens exemption. And again, I'm new here, so I wanted to check my foundation, make sure everything was in order. And Barb and the assessor and I began researching the documents. We wanted to get the resolution passed so that the exemption would go into place. But when we look back at the law, there doesn't appear to be a full-blown law ever adopted by the town of Stafford to administer the senior citizens exemption, ultimately maybe deny a senior citizens exemption. You know, the formatting, the reporting requirements, filing the taxes, all of those things were sort of left out. So what we agreed is, hey, look, we'll go out and look for a law. We want to make sure that exemption gets in place, and we did it by resolution. But truthfully, what needs to happen is we need to update our law. And this is, I think, is this local law number A, I call it. I'll do A for everything until it's adopted. I think I heard local law number 2, 1 and 2 were passed tonight, so this might be local law number 3.
This is one.
There's one.
One was for
This.
this
2
one?
is a tax cap override.
2 is a, how can this one be 1 if that one's 2? This one has to be 3.
Because we can change the.
You have to do an order. And that one, and hopefully, if you're gonna do the tax cap, it's gonna be adopted tonight, right? 2?
Yeah.
So this will be 3 because it'll be adopted afterwards.
There's a 1, so should we?
No, don't do that to me, Barbara.
You didn't tell me that part.
Okay, they have to be in order, there's gotta be a 1 and a 2, so maybe the tax cap will be 1.
Tax cap 1.
Okay.
We can do that?
Yep.
Okay.
So basically, and I don't know if you guys all have the law in front of you, but I brought a copy. Again, I've got the assessor here if you want to discuss it. Our feeling was we wanted to make sure we had a comprehensive law that could be administered and that we were making sure that senior citizens were protected as well as the town. And it had, you aren't now. You definitely are not protected now. There doesn't appear to be a law on file. There were a series of exemptions, and that was completely the wrong way of doing it. That's where we are. So I'm asking you to have a resolution, to have a public hearing on local law A, which is going to be 2, I think, tonight, if Barb corrects me. Hopefully, to consider adopting this as a local law.
Is it something separate, like from like a STAR program or something?
I'm sorry?
Is it separate from,
Yeah.
than like a STAR program that you would have? So
This is in addition to the STAR
Okay.
program?
that's what it sounded like. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
The income levels are very, very low right now, and I'm trying to bring them up to where the county increased them last year, which will be 32,200 versus the, I don't know, if we were at 16 or 20,000 currently.
And that's for a couple too.
Yeah, that's for household.
It is.
Too low. But again, we're talking about 2% budget caps and worried about our taxes going up. In the same meeting, I'm asking you to give an exemption to senior citizens, but, I mean, if their income's this low, they really need an exemption.
Wait, what's the age gap on that? Am I there yet?
It's only 65.
Oh, I
I'm
see.
gonna get that first.
All right, I'm for the house here. Wait, it is.
No.
It already is.
So the resolution to have a public hearing.
It's right with, it's right with.
It's all there.
It's right, the next item down. So we got it.
Now, Lori, what happens if the person, the senior citizen owns 2 houses or 3 houses? They only get
It's
one.
not one.
I only get one.
And that's the language that's in here. That's what's missing.
So this
It basically caps out at 32,000 a month.
Take over, I think.
So, for 2 bills.
Do I need to read the resolution?
You can either read it, or you guys have all got it in front of you, if somebody wants to just propose to adopt it. The resolution is just asking that, again, we've seen deficiencies, that we're passing a motion to have a public hearing, so the public can comment about
I
it.
propose we adopt it.
I'll read the first 2 paragraphs here so everybody can understand. Local law number 2 of 2024, providing a partial exemption from taxation to persons 65 years of age or older pursuant to the provisions of section 467 of the real property tax law. Section 1, title, this local law shall be known and cited as a local law of the town of Stafford providing a partial exemption from taxation to persons 65 years of age or older pursuant to the provisions of section 467 of the real property tax law. Enough said.
Thank you. Couldn't have done it better myself.
Now we need a,
For the public hearing.
we need a second.
Yeah, second that. I'm just gonna come up with a date, right?
It's on that, right? It's on, I believe, for December 9th.
We're okay if we do it the next meeting, or is the
Yes.
meeting before that?
I would like it done before February, so
Oh,
people have
okay.
enough time to at least apply for it.
Yeah, so we'll do it at December 9th.
I think it's in, yeah, 7 PM.
7 PM, December 9th, public hearing.
And then we'll vote.
We got a motion. We got a second.
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay. Are we good?
Yep, we're good.
Yep. And again, I'm going to see you guys on December 3rd.
Yes.
December 4th.
And then you guys, I gave you a proposed fire contract. There may be some changes that need to be made in it. Just let me know what they are. It's first draft. Again, your fire contract was more of a letter than a contract, so you needed some more language to it. Definitely the insurance information, so I took some liberties. Let me know where I went wrong. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, now, item number 8 on the agenda, resolution 69.
You got it.
We did it.
We did that one.
Yep.
Yes.
Go back up to one, financial.
SEQR approval.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right. Item number 1, approval of financial report.
Bob, can you give me those totals in our, what's in our bank account?
Financial report. Huh? She got a question for me?
You can just, if you want to just give me a copy of it, you don't have to read it. I just want to know what the amounts are. Save me from foiling it.
So move, Bob.
Second,
Second.
who says that?
Jimmy.
You got him down as a...
Pacer first, Jay second.
Okay. My second by Councilman Pacer, second by Councilman Diesel to approve the financial report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Approval of the October 14th town board meeting minutes.
So move.
Second.
This is
Motion by Councilman Young, second by Councilman Panic to approve the October 14th meeting minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next, approval of the emergency special meeting minutes of October 30th. The first paragraph here, a special emergency town board meeting was called to order by Supervisor Clement at 12:30 p.m. on October 30th, 2024 in the Stafford Town Hall, 8903 Route 237, Stafford, New York, 14143. In attendance were Supervisor Clement, Councilman Pacer, Councilman Deason, and Town Clerk Radley. Absent were Councilman Panic and Councilman Young. There was a discussion regarding a public hearing for the creation of local law number 2 for 2024. Tax cap override with the resolution 76 to schedule a public hearing regarding the 2% tax cap.
Change that now.
So, approval of the special meeting of October 30th.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Pacer, second by Councilman Deason to approve the emergency special meeting minutes of October 30th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Approval of the fire department report. From I'm Timothy Ekdahl. Your Stafford Volunteer Fire Department has answered 30 calls in the month of October. Included were many EMS calls, 1 structure fire, 2 motor vehicle accidents, and 7 miscellaneous fire service calls for assistance. The department members also completed 124 man-hours of training in October. Topics included auto extrication, fire police, radio communications, fire prevention activities, and member setup for a trick or treating at the fire hall for Halloween. As fall time approaches, please check the batteries in your smoke detectors and CO alarms. Please stay safe. Tim Ekdahl. Any questions? Approve the fire department report.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Deason, is it? And second by Councilman Levy to approve the Stafford Fire Department report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Code and zoning report. You all have a copy of it?
Yes, we do.
Any questions?
No, move to accept.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Second.
Second.
Decent.
Motion by Councilman Pacer, second by Councilman Deason to approve the code and zoning report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item number 10, Genesee 5 and 6 lead agency.
Number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, announce the books. SEQR Approval, Genesee 5 and 6 lead agency. The town of Stafford Planning Board agrees to the designation of the town of Stafford Town Board as lead agency for New York CDG Genesee 5 LLC and New York CDG Genesee 6 LLC solar energy facility proposed on the Stafford Town Line Road in the town of Stafford by William Van Alst, Chairman of the Stafford Planning Board. Date 10/23/24. Concerning, this is from our attorneys, dear Mr. Clement and Mr. Van Alst. I have begun to get responses from the firms to which I sent inquiries regarding the property value impact study and the socioeconomic impact study. Many of these responses have follow-up questions that, in my opinion, require the attention of a town official. I am wondering which authorized body is going to take the lead on these studies, and by extension, which of you should become my main contact regarding these studies. I shall continue to forward both the inquiries to and the responses from those firms on both boards. However, I would like to streamline this process so that we can commence these studies as soon as possible. Very true to yours, David Delaney.
What were the two things they were again? This is with the seeker, right?
This is who is the lead agency
Yeah, you're
for the
the
seeker.
board is the lead agency.
Yes,
But what was Mr. DiMatteo asking for?
for somebody.
Property value, and what was the other one? There was,
A study.
Oh, I don't know.
they're doing a study, okay, a
Property
study
value
on
study.
property
Yeah.
value and what else? I thought there was two.
Socioeconomic impact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those will all be part of the seeker.
Who's working on that seeker? Just the board? Because I know before you had a committee.
No, it'll be our engineering firm will take a lot of this. It's a technical issue. The
Yeah.
questions in the seeker are going to be technical questions.
Mm-hmm.
We can have an opinion. We're hiring the engineering firm to have an educated opinion.
And by engineering firm, you mean CPO, Clark Patterson,
Yes.
Lee? Okay.
Now, that I read is the town of Stafford Planning Board agrees to the designation of the town of Stafford Town Board as lead agency for the New York, Genesee, and Genesee 6 solar energy facility proposed on Batavia Stafford Town Line Road in the town of Stafford. The planning board is going to be the lead agency as opposed.
Says
No.
the town, says the town.
No, the planning board endorses the town board,
Yeah.
the lead agency.
Yeah. Can't get out of it that easy.
Okay.
Planning board agrees to the designation of the town of Stafford.
But the lawyer was asking who was going to be the main contact from the board, right? Did I understand that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Wasn't there an email from Dave about having a meeting, a joint meeting with the planning board?
It's coming up.
All right.
I shouldn't, but I will volunteer to work with Mr. DiMatteo on this project.
Thank you, Terry.
I can help you out, I just don't have the time I had when we did the law. So,
Thank you.
Item number 11, resolution 70. Authorize delinquent water bills to be levied against the 2025 tax warrant. Whereas the town clerk has received a list of all property owners who owe for water rents in water district number 10 to the town of Batavia, and whereas section 229-15C of town law stipulates that such amounts owing shall be levied against the property to which the service is rendered. Now therefore be it resolved that the attached list in the amount of $346.12, or as may be amended before final submission to the Genesee County Treasurer, be and is hereby approved for levying against the individual's 2025 tax warrants. Someone has to make a motion about that.
So moved.
Second.
Make him pay his bill.
Jim, did you second that? Oh, okay. Motion by Councilman Young, second by Councilman Pasek. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Yeah. Please sign. This has to go to Mr. Post. Sorry, Mr. Post.
municipal officers. Whereas various sections of New York State town law and public officer law require that certain officials execute an official undertaking. And whereas we, the town board of the town of Stafford, hereby require the supervisor, deputy supervisor, town clerk / tax collector, town justice clerks, bookkeeper, and highway superintendent to execute said official undertaking as required by law. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Stafford Town Board hereby approves the document entitled Town of Stafford Official Undertaking of Municipal Officers annexed hereto, as it is in its form and manner of execution, and be it further resolved, the town does and shall maintain insurance coverage in the amount of $500,000 for the town clerk tax collector, $100,000 for the deputy town clerks, $249,000 for the court clerks, $10,000 for the highway superintendent, bookkeeper, and town justice to indemnify against losses through the failure of the officers, clerks, and employees covered under the faithfully to perform their duties or to account properly for all monies or property received by virtue of their positions or employment, and through fraudulent or dishonest acts committed by the officers, clerks, and employees covered thereby under it, and be it further resolved that said official undertaking containing the notarized signatures of those named municipal officers be filed in the office of the town clerk, as well as the original copies of the insurance policies indicating the sufficiency and sureties to indemnify the town against losses which may arise from failure of such officials to properly discharge their duties.
Who's our carrier on that part?
Along with the subcarrier.
Is that something we should have looked at again to see if we can get a better rate?
It is, that's part of the.
Is that what Mr. Tukey's doing?
Yes.
Thank you.
Part of the process.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Young, second by Councilman Fanning. All in favor, say aye.
No, roll call.
Wait a minute. Got a roll call vote.
Councilman Cannon?
Yes.
Councilman Young?
Yes.
Councilman Deason?
Yes.
Councilman Cleason?
Yes.
Supervisor Cooner?
Yes. 5-0. And then Barbara will have to sign this. The certification, I, Barbara Radley, Town Clerk of the Town of Stafford, County of Genesee, and State of New York, do hereby certify that I have compared the aforementioned resolution duly adopted by the Town Board of the Town of Stafford on the 13th of November 2023 with the original now on file in my office, and the same is correct and true copy of said resolution and the whole thereof. It's dated November 11th, 2024.
Bless you.
Come on, you guys.
Town of Stafford of Resolution 72 to adopt 2% tax cap, local law number 2 of 2024. The Town Board of the Town of Stafford met at regular Town Board meeting at the Town Hall of the Town of Stafford located at 8903 Route 237 on the 11th day of November 2024, commencing at 7:30 p.m.
Isn't that gonna be local 1? Didn't we move that? Change that to 1? Okay.
It, yeah. It was
Okay,
tabled
'cause
before
he
we
said
changed
2.
it.
Okay.
I'm changing it.
And previously, a public hearing held at 7:15 PM, at which time and place the following members were present. See, we got to sign this, right? No?
I'll phone with Glass.
Okay, Supervisor. Okay, Councilman, I've got a 4.
Yeah, I'll fill it in.
You're
Okay.
fine. Whereas all board members having due notice of said meeting and that pursuant to Article 7, Section 104 of the Public Officers Law, said meeting was open to the general public and due and proper notice of the time and place that was given as required by law.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Who's gonna,
Right there.
who's gonna do the motions?
So move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Pacer, which has been duly seconded by Councilman Panic, and therefore be it resolved that the town board, the town of Stafford, feels it is in the best interest of the town of Stafford to adopt local law number 2 of 2024 entitled Override of the Tax Levy Limit established in General Municipal Law, Section 3C. And be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby directed to enter the adoption of said law in the minutes of this meeting and give due notice of the adoption of said local law to the Secretary of State. So all in favor say aye.
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 That would be 5, yes, 5. Nays is 0. 0. Quorum present, yes. Resolution 73, that's item number 15.
Can't do this.
Adoption of the final budget for the town of Stafford for the year 2025. Whereas the town of Stafford Chief Financial Officer has prepared a tentative budget for the review by the Stafford Town Board, and whereas the town of Stafford met in budget session among themselves and with town employees in a formulation of the preliminary budget, and whereas the 2025 preliminary budget was adopted on October 2nd, 2024, after which a public hearing was held on November 11th, 2024, for all interested parties to be heard, and therefore be it resolved that the town of Stafford hereby adopts the 2025 budget of the town of Stafford.
So move.
Hold on.
Do you have to,
What about, the town clerk, or the town,
The court,
or the court clerk? We gotta change that to 15 hours.
That's right.
We'll just make the motion with that change included.
Right.
are you gonna do anything with the historian, or are you just gonna give her $1,400? And you gotta take out the 1,000 for the other one that you voted on last month not to do, for the visitor's guide.
Just make changes to the court clerk.
Weren't you gonna take the other one out too?
Should probably talk to her first.
Not her, I mean the $1,000 for the Chamber of Commerce, the visitor's guide. You guys voted last month to take that out.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, $1,000.
We can use it for budget modification later. I mean, we're not spending it. Is that acceptable?
I prefer to see it off the line, if you're gonna just move it somewhere else.
Maybe we present out some of that.
And I place the vote, yeah.
Okay, who's,
Lisa made the motion with changes.
we got a,
Lisa made the motion with changes of the report.
Yep.
Lisa? Second?
Second.
Roll call. Councilman Pianik?
Yes.
Councilman Young?
Yes.
Councilman Deason?
Yes.
Councilman Pacer?
Yes.
Supervisor Clement?
Yes. Passed 5-0. Resolution 74, resolution to hire bookkeeping and payroll services for 2025. Whereas the town of Stafford needs bookkeeping and payroll services, and whereas the town of Stafford has previously held a contract with the town of Batavia for these services, and whereas the town of Batavia has ended the contract for bookkeeping and payroll services as of 12/31/2024, the town of Stafford has investigated firms to perform our bookkeeping and payroll services, and whereas the town of Stafford has interviewed the firm of LGSS, that's Local Government Support Services. This firm has many municipalities that are qualified to perform duties required for a fee of $34,080 per year, and will be paid $8,520 per quarter. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Stafford will hire LGSS for the duties of bookkeeping and payroll for the year 2025, beginning January 1st, 2025, at a cost of $34,080 per year, to be paid $8,520 per quarter.
Was that in the budget? What line is that under?
It's in there.
So it jumps from 22,000 to 34,000?
Yep.
Did you try looking for someone
Yep.
else?
Multiple people.
Yes, we did.
You're not on the board.
Yes. Our contract with town of Batavia, they were not gonna renew it.
Right.
There was talk of them renewing it at one time at double what they were charging us before, which would have been $44,000.
How
It's
many?
not cheap to do this service.
I understand. I understand payroll and stuff. I used to do it. What are they gonna be? I'm gonna assume it's a service, so they're not gonna be in here in-house.
No.
So it'll all be send your payroll like you normally do electronically. And then how many hours are they gonna work? I mean,
You gotta have an interim in here
Whatever it takes.
to say, to send this to these people.
how many hours did Batavia work? How many hours, I guess, does it take accounting to do town accounting?
I don't know how
No
many
idea.
hours
You don't know how many hours Heidi and Marcy worked doing the town stuff?
Let's put it this way. I was told by Greg Post that it was done at a loss.
Well,
I got no reason to believe that it wasn't.
I just think 34,000's a lot, but hey.
We tried.
And you interviewed several people? I mean, what about the one that helped you at the budget meeting? She didn't want it?
She didn't even help us at the budget meeting.
Yeah.
So I need a motion to do this.
Yeah. So moved.
Second.
If you're looking for the budget for it, it's, page 1, general fund, a 1,220.4, we're budgeted for 37,000 in that.
Okay, we need a roll call vote on this resolution 74.
Councilman Cannon?
Yes.
Councilman Young?
Yes.
Councilman Deason?
Yes.
Councilman Pacer?
Yes.
Supervisor Cruiser?
Roll call vote 5-0. Item number 17, to accept Water District 12 information. Town Board accepts information from Water District number 12. Whereas the Town Board has received information regarding Water District 12, and whereas the Town Board reviewed the information, therefore the Town Board, the Town of Stafford, has reviewed the information and accepts the information for Water District 12.
So moved.
Second.
Bob, what happened to 75 and 76? You jumped from 74 to 77.
75, I realized was a duplicate of 82, so I took that out. And I think we previously did 76.
Okay, resolution 73, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, 5-0. Resolution number 78, Water District 12 project budget modifications. Whereas the Town of Stafford has received funding from Rural Development for the Water District 12 project. And whereas the Town Board wishes to adjust project budget items to more accurately reflect actual costs. And whereas Rural Development requires the Town Board to authorize all changes to administrative budget as shown on the Form A. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Stafford authorizes the following budget modifications for the project. Net interest increase of $3,268.13. Local council, Dematio, decrease of $5,115,000, and contingency increase of $1,846.87. I, Barbara Radley, Town Clerk of the Town of Stafford, do hereby certify that the aforementioned resolution was adopted by the Town Board of the Town of Stafford on November 11th by the following vote.
Okay.
Bob, will that affect our amount that we pay? Because some went down, one went up, and then weren't you going to get that other grant that wasn't filed, and then they were gonna refile it for $2,300?
The decrease and the increase match.
Really? Is that
Yeah.
minus 3,000,
Yeah,
minus, how much was DiMattio's decrease?
5,000.
5,000, and
Contingency was
plus
increased
1,000.
1,800.
by 1,000, you said?
1,800.
1,800. Well,
So you're gonna,
5 and 3
It
is
equals the same
8.
amount.
that's a lot.
Would you like to look at it? It's
Yeah,
right here.
actually, yes.
Here. Right. See, these two add up to this,
This is a decrease.
and this is an increase in increase.
Oh, I thought this was a decrease. Okay, I wrote decrease. Look, did we get that other grant? Did that get paid? The one that was missed? And the audit found it?
All right, let's finish.
I'll
this-
foil it.
Finish this.
Thank you.
Vote.
Motion. We have motion.
So moved.
Lisa.
Second.
Okay. Councilman Panic?
Yes.
Councilman Young?
Yes.
Councilman Gleason?
Yes.
Councilman Gleason?
Yes.
Supervisor Clement?
Item number 19, resolution 79, reappointment of John Muehlbauer to the Board of Assessment Review. Whereas John Muehlbauer has been a member of the Board of Assessment Review, and whereas John's term has expired, and whereas John has expressed interest in remaining on the Board of Assessment Review, therefore the town board of the town of Stafford shall reappoint John Muehlbauer to the Board of Assessment Review. Motion to do that?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Young, second by Councilman Deason. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Resolution number 80, establishing standard workday and reporting elected and appointed officials exempt from the time and attendance system. Resolved, the Stafford Town Board hereby establishes the following as a standard workday for elected and appointed officials exempt from the time and attendance system, and will report the following day's work to the New York State and local employees retirement system based on the record of activities maintained and is submitted by these officials to the town clerk and financial clerk. And be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby directed and required by section 315.4C to post said resolution on the town's website and the signboard located in the town hall. And be it further resolved, the town clerk is hereby directed to file a certified copy of the resolution and an affidavit of posting with the office of the state controller within 15 days after the public posting period has ended. Motion to do this?
So moved. We do it every year. And the format is a whole lot more understandable this time.
Second?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Panic, second by Councilman Deason. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Resolution 81, resolution to increase new MEO salary as motor equipment operator 7. Whereas the highway department hired a new MEO, Sean McClellan, on October 7th, 2024, at the rate of $24 per hour, and whereas the highway superintendent is requesting a pay rate increase from $24 per hour to $26.50 per hour to align with the Teamsters union contract rate retroactive to 10/25/24. Therefore, be it resolved that the rate of pay for Sean McClellan will increase from $24 per hour to $26.50 per hour to align with the Teamsters union contract retroactive to 10/25/24. Motion to do this?
On my motion of choice, so moved.
Yeah. Second. I've heard good reviews about the new employee, so that's a good thing.
Okay, motion by Councilman Panic, second by Councilman Young, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Resolution 82, to hold a public hearing regarding the 2025 agreement for fire protection services for the Stafford Fire Protection District. That it be adopted today. The town board of the town of Stafford met at a regular board meeting at the town hall located in Stafford, New York on the 11th day of November 2024, commencing at 7 p.m. and the following members were present. That's myself, Councilman Panic, Young, Deason, and Pacer. Whereas all board members having due notice of said meeting, and that pursuant to Article 7, Section 104 of the Public Officers Law, said meeting was open to the general public and due and proper notice of the time and place where it was given and required by law. And whereas fire protection services are vital and necessary to the health and welfare of the inhabitants of the town of Stafford. There's quite a few items here.
Did they submit a budget?
Yes.
Now, we need a motion. Resolved by the town board of the town of Stafford will hold a public hearing on the proposed agreement on the 9th day of December 2024 at 7:15 p.m., at which time all interested parties and citizens for or against the proposed law will be heard, and be it further resolved, the town clerk of the town of Stafford is hereby directed to publish and post a notice of public hearing containing date and time that the public hearing will be held.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Kenny, second by Councilman Deason. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No, none. Quorum present, yes.
I saw that.
Date,
I agree.
11/11. 24. We need to schedule a workshop to review the schedule of fees for 2025. Anyone like to comment on that?
Well, it's to be ready for January, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Why don't we do it same day as,
The fourth.
yeah,
We could do it the same day as we meet with
the planning board.
Okay,
December 4th
yeah.
at 7. Okay.
It will be on December 4th at 7 p.m. All those in favor of that, all around here? Say aye.
Right.
Opposed? Okay. Schedule a special meeting for CDG Genesee 5 and 6 impact studies and the authority.
We did that, didn't we?
So what's that?
All right, that's been done.
We just did that.
Yeah, just a
Okay.
Well, we did them both.
We did them at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Gary's up.
Here's it.
Gary, you're up.
Before I go up, let her do her,
Wake up.
get some information for your flag.
Sorry.
Let me read this into the record here anyway. Says, "Good morning, Barb. Here's the proposal for the sign for the town. Please could you pass this on to Gary Snell for me? The shipping software and cell modem with unlimited data are included in the quote. The display has a 10.66 millimeter pixel pitch and can show video clips, animation, and graphics, as well as up to 7 rows of text. Time and temperature is standard. You will be able to change the message on the sign remotely from any internet-based device, cell phone, laptop, etc. Please let me know if you have any questions at all. Many thanks, Jane Hyde, Regional Sales Manager."
This is the information you sent me. It's got,
Yeah, they got it.
Yeah, we've
all that,
we've got it right in the,
you got all the paperwork. that we
Yeah.
got?
You got the color, they don't.
The one that she was looking at was this one here, they're anywhere from 22 to 25,000.
That's this one right here.
Huh?
Is it that, this one?
Do they give a life expectancy in?
Oh, yeah, all that,
Right,
Hopefully it's longer than the fire department.
that's why I was just gonna
they
ask.
were talking $70,000-$80,000 for the one over there, that's what Stan Gear said.
Theirs is dead.
Huh?
Theirs is broke.
Theirs is broke, yeah, they wanna get one too. We get ours first.
Why is there so
There's a
good?
proposal right there, but if you got all these paperwork, yeah, it has all the, somewhere in this year's on the paper, it gives all the.
Average LED life, 100,000. Yes.
So you can color paperwork. Yours colored too?
I got
Oh, all right. And then, that girl here's out of Florida. This girl, she's based out of, I have another one here. Another envelope. This one is from California. You can get a sign in here for $600, but you know what you're getting. But they got some cheaper ones this year.
Burned up one.
Yeah.
A little smoke damage.
This outfit's out of California, but you can keep this and look it over and decide whatever you want to do.
This wasn't in the budget though, right?
No,
I don't know if price makes a difference. Ryder got one with their ARPA funds for $60,000. It's a year old, and they've already had it repaired, like, under warranty, like 6 or 7 times already.
Yeah, but I talked to fire departments that had them for 10, 15 years, they've had no problems at all.
Yeah, this is a recent one. I don't know how long the other one's had, so $60,000, and
Yeah.
it's been repaired several times.
How long is the one at the fire hall been there? That's been there quite a while.
Is it the sign or the control system for them?
Well, I don't know. The control is probably what costs. It isn't the
Yeah.
sign that's
Sure
out
of
there,
that.
the plastic sign.
Is this something we could allot out of the American Rescue Fund money? Because this is pretty much, to me, this would be more beneficial to the town.
You gave us this so that we could, this is new, right?
Yeah, you can keep that. That's just all, that's just another company out of California.
Yeah.
We've earmarked
Yeah.
projects, Kathy, to answer your question, we've earmarked projects out of that already.
Right, I know,
But
but
I've been looking around. a
You
lot.
have till the end of the
One
year
the
to
big ones
adjust
at the
that,
fire
right?
hall get, man, of course, they're talking $40,000, but they're talking having
contracts.
somebody come in and lay out the bricks and stone,
I don't
and
know
we
what
don't
to
need that.
eliminate out of.
They looked at our front out here with a satellite. and she told me
more
what-
tractors?
But we do have to excavate out to there.
What?
Is it Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, or is it hardwired? Do we have to run under the
Well, we
property?
have to run a wire out to it, electric, those there are 120 volt, they're just a regular electric current, but.
It still needs a remote control.
Oh, yeah, you can do it from home, and if you're hooked up to it, you can change it, or you can put a message in there that you want to come back on at night for just a night, and it shuts off in the morning and comes back on at night. There's hundreds of things you can do with it there, it's not just printing in a thing, and you do it right from the office, or,
And how much was it?
pardon?
How much was it?
That one, is that front page there was around 22,000. That's the post and the framework, however you want that, and I said, we're not looking at having if we get a sign, we get a sign, you know? But, like she said, you can put them out there and 6x6s in the ground, let's stay there, you know? Run electric to it. So,
Would the town be against us trying to do a fundraiser for that sign?
Why would we be?
I don't know. Okay,
you
I'll
might
work
run
on
into
it.
a little legal problem there someplace.
Well, it depends who puts on the fundraiser.
Maybe we should get some of the companies in town businesses, they can donate it or something, but I'm sure we can get some stone from the quarry there and give you. But it's something to look at. I really honestly think that that's something this town needs. Every other town's got them. And you can announce a lot of programs on there, a lot of different stuff.
Barb will be out there changing letters.
No, she's not.
No, type it into a keyboard.
No, she can do it from home, you gotta be over there.
When you're looking at the budget, being that that sign's gonna be used multiple, not just for the town use, but you also have your court use. I mean, you've got the historical side, you've got a lot of things that are going on in this building and in the community, so I don't know if that's a way to maybe pick up funding within the budget, from some of these other agencies that would obviously be using it. I mean, obviously, we'd probably be putting the dates on it for the court's being held at this day or something, so.
Well, it's like tonight, you got a budget here, you're spending how many $1 million, and look who's here. You know why they're not here? Because they didn't know about it. You go around to every person in the town of Stafford and ask them when the budget hearing was. There probably isn't 30 people in the whole town of Delinquent.
And they're all here.
Yeah, they're all here. But you can, you know, they can do it for other things too. Like he says, the Historical Society wants to put on a function,
Garden club?
but basically I'm interested in is for the town to notify of public hearings and meetings and changes in whatever's going on.
Anybody got a tool that can dig a nice trench about that wide all the way from the building out to the sign?
Oh, yeah. Cedar Street Rental, they got one right there, they got.
Ditch switch.
Oh, yeah, we visited over the golf course many times.
Can't you do it, can't they maybe run it when they do the parking lot?
We can do it anywhere you want, go right from here, right straight across the parking lot, but if you're gonna do that, we gotta do it before Steve paves the parking lot.
Right, that's what I mean, yeah.
Or you can go around, you can go to the pavilion and get that, but you still gotta go across the parking lot someplace. You might better just do it and go right across there and.
If I recall, didn't we say that the work to get the wire out there and even the sign itself may fall under the estimate? Because you just gave a ballpark estimate for the parking lot remodel. Thought that was part of the discussion.
Running the wire? Or
Running the wire and the sign, would it fit under the budget you have now for the parking lot remodel?
probably the wire. I don't know what's involved in the install on the sign. Just dig a footer and pour some concrete.
That's what some of them really just pour it, because the poles aren't gonna be that far apart, so they just dig down a little ways and pour a slab about that thick, and put some bolts in it, and they bolt it right to it.
Just locate the gas to water and electric.
If you're putting it in conduit, then you only gotta go down 12 inches.
Yeah, well, especially out here where you're gonna pave another probably 1.5 inches or so over the top of it, but some people, there's pictures in there, and some of them put the posts in the ground, 6x6s, and then they build it up with wood, 1x6 framework around it and put flowers in it.
When did we have to have
Million ways of doing it.
parking lot done by?
It's not a complicated system. You'll have to get an electrician to plug it into the building here and out there.
Is the,
It's just a plug in out there.
are you looking to do the parking lot next year in '25?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they gotta do that part.
Well, you have to get a permit.
They didn't up here, they put the color back on highway property.
Engineer's drawings.
Kathy, you're up here.
Oh. I was so excited, I was thinking about how I'm gonna fundraise, to get that money.
Just don't forget, I'm up
Who
here.
would be in charge of the sign? Like, who would be in charge of changing the sign, putting out the information, maintaining the sign, software updates, all that?
Whoever wants to hack it.
Robbie Chapman.
Some kid with a phone.
You will probably hire an electrician to go out
The
there,
birthday will be on
put
there.
the electric to it. As far as putting posts in the ground, that's not too complicated.
Who knows,
Who are
Robbie?
you?
Oh, go before me.
Thank you.
Linda wants to be before
I'm
me.
older.
She wasn't on the agenda. Not even on the agenda.
Okay, I called about the flags. We said last time that we thought we'd like to go larger through the town. The price, they were the ones that are up now are 18 by 33. They were $147 each, which included your bracket. Now, she can go up to 18 by 36, or if you want to go 38, or whatever, the price will stay the same. If you want to go to 18 by 48, which is, you know, even like, I see you shaking your head down there.
Just thinking lighter, like 24. 24 by 24.
What? We can get them wider. We can get them not as long. We can get them from what we have now to up to 48. If you, just let me say, if we went to 48, they would only go up, well, I shouldn't have said only, but $10 to $15 each. I feel we should order another dozen. We're not gonna take down other than they need to be lowered. Where the ones that are located that are already up. This is just a couple that you sent me that I looked at. Sorry, should have been more organized.
I don't think you wanna go 24 wide, you're too far out away from the pole. I mean, you're gonna be that
Oh, I
wide.
hate these things.
18 is plenty, but I would go longer, that's what she said over there too. She's seeing them, these here, and they're not big enough. But we'll leave
How
them.
wide do we
Plus,
have
she said
now?
they're up to
18.
Sorry. That was a quote because people aren't looking up at the object. Oh, we might as well take a nap, we'll count these. I'll show you a couple pictures. Kathy wants to go ahead and speak, go ahead.
Some past things that were, tabled before, because I'm so bored, I sit home and read things. The locks. What do you ever do with the locks on the door? Remember you were having trouble with one of the doors, and you were looking at doing different lock things? Whatever come of that?
I don't know, I didn't know that we were having a problem.
Yeah, so you were talking about the combination push locks and stuff too.
Push locks.
Oh, yeah, might have been there, yeah.
Yeah, but there was an issue driving that before. I think we looked at the price and never brought it back up.
Okay. IT, I noticed IT was on the budget, and it went up a couple $1,000. And I know Barb was looking at a different program with a company and opted not to do that one. So I guess what was the deal with the IT? Are we having IT problems, or, I mean, I don't know, I think it went up like $3,000. Is that something that we bid out, or, I don't know.
It's like Steve's trucks, we try to estimate what we
Oh, so it's
think we
like
may
basically
have
an
to
estimate,
repair.
in case you have to have it. Okay, that's good enough. Town board stand on the Historic Society. I assume that's why you went in with Roach. I was at court the other day, and they said they had to come and talk with you to see if the town board was going to agree with what they were talking about at court. So I guess that's my question.
Can't answer it.
You can't answer it? Oh, because Mr. Roach told us to ask that we would know at the board meeting.
Yeah.
Once,
Told you to
so
ask.
just at the, okay. So at a couple meetings before, you said that you didn't want the building tore down, but if the town does get it, just saying, what is your plan for it? Is the town gonna have, is the community gonna have to say if for some reason the town does get it?
There's a sizable amount of money that you're gonna have to come up with to bring that thing up to code, no matter who owns it.
Okay, well, okay, say the town gets it.
Yeah.
Have you given any thought of what you're gonna do with it? Are you gonna sell it? Are you gonna,
Are you interested?
I'm very much interested. I keep offering them, he won't sell it to me. But Gene said he couldn't sell it because it was under litigation. But then obviously it's not true, because according to the legal fee stuff, you guys had a buyer. Correspondence email with Attorney Sorgi regarding a potential buyer.
That's nothing to do with us. It's not our attorney.
It was your attorney. We paid Roach $450 to email Sorgi regarding a potential buyer. I just happened to see it. I just thought I'd ask.
Not that we knew.
Not that you know of?
Well, here's the thing. We don't want it tore down.
Okay, is that the consensus
don't
of
want
everyone?
And so we're not gonna cross that bridge. We're hoping Mr. Pontillo takes care of things.
Okay, great, so do we. In legal fees, we already went over some legal fees, and I'll just wait on my legal fee.
What are you gonna do with it, Jim?
Well, I was interested by a statement you said about how much money it would cost to bring it back up to code. What is the number that you all are thinking?
I don't know. It's bordering on, bringing it up to code is bordering on what the building is worth.
Now we gotta get it appraised.
Well, there's one thing I can guarantee you, we will not be in the real estate business.
Demolition maybe?
That's you.
You said demolition, we're not in demolition.
Anybody else?
Okay. Anyone else?
As far as the legal fees, and you're gonna see this in every instance, getting compliance without cooperation is expensive.
Agreed.
All right,
Anybody else?
anything further?
Yeah.
No, just let her finish.
This is on site? You guys are
Yeah.
up or down? I like that.
That looks better when we're doing this.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's what I do here.
Too many
I can show you later.
You're walking
But
the
then it's
dirt.
also,
Square feet.
yeah. Okay, well, just so you can,
Thank you, Matt.
you know, what you're gonna do, but then we're not gonna order till spring probably anyways, okay? So
Thank
it's in the
you.
budget.
Thank you for looking into that for us. Thank you, Gary. for
You're
doing
welcome.
You ready to go around the table?
I got an estimate, 360 turf. And we talked about putting turf under the new place at whatever it is, park. It's very expensive. You know, do we kick something else out of our ARPA funds that we dedicated to it to put this in? That's up to you people. It's like, where's the price here? It's big enough, I ought to be able to see it. Like $22,000 for artificial turf.
Is that just the turf or is that installed?
That's installed, that's everything, Robbie. That's taking what's there out. After it's in, of course, they do 1 inch or 2 inch of a rubber, depending on how tall the thing is. So if a child falls off, they fall on that rubber rather than on them stones. I just think it's something we should look at sometime. If you think we ought to switch something out with our ARPA funds, and put it in there for our playground venture.
What was,
Talk
the-
about it.
what was the surface that was in the estimate?
It was a fiber something,
It's wood fiber.
wood fiber.
So there's already a load of it out there.
There is?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yep, my out back.
Oh, okay.
Do they still do the, where they grind up the tires, just the rubber, not the steel, and they have it, it's like, it comes in different colors?
Yeah, they used to do that, Jim, and I don't think they do that. I haven't seen it.
Not the ones with the steel, it's because I see,
Yeah,
It's an environmental thing.
Yeah,
I
they
don't know if
went,
it's tires, that's what it looks like to me, it looks like some kind of ground up rubber. that
yeah,
comes
I
with
know what you
iron
mean,
or
yeah.
something.
I don't see it around anymore.
Okay.
I don't know
Can't
whether
use wood chips, right?
there was a,
no.
Lester,
wood chips are not a very good
It's
solution.
There used to be a lot of corn cobs or wood chips.
There's been a lot of different things
A lot
over
of
the
different
years.
stuff, yeah.
I know the stone that we have up there is work, but it's not.
I'd rather play on wood chips than I would rubber tires, I'll say.
Yeah, I constantly
Cedar
rake
chips.
them back where the kids are
Smell
Yeah.
always pushing them
Yeah.
out. You see, you have to keep raking them back, and then they end up in the toilets, and they end up in
Oh,
the
I know.
sinks, and,
You know, watch those kids come off the football field down there.
yeah.
They got it in their face, their ears, or,
Well, that stuff, yeah, that black stuff.
that's terrible.
Jerry, that estimate you got, was that, that was totally installed and stuff? or-
Yes,
And
totally
that's, and
installed.
it's, the warranty on those
Yes.
last forever, for a long time, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's a certain amount of maintenance, don't kid yourself. I asked them about that. I don't think it's a big deal, but that's the quote I got. They're a local company, he's in Elba. And, you know, they told me exactly what they could do and what they,
For the,
how it works.
for the improvements that's in the American Rescue Plan money, does this have to be done prior to those being done, or can we do it two-step?
Well, this would go in after the playground set is done.
All right, so we could do two steps. Use the funds the way we have them planned, and then budget for this in next year's budget.
We very well could do that, yes.
Yes.
Not the 226 budget.
Yes. Yes. Like I said, our fund right now is pretty much ate up with everything that we decided on doing. The last one was that replacing all that concrete on the small pavilion, and that's absolutely necessary. And they do put something different under the handicap accessible one that they're doing, right? It's a special,
Yeah, special stuff.
yeah, I don't know what it is, but they put something special under there for wheelchairs and what have you. Apparently that's in their bid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there's product already up there.
You got, Steve, you got anything?
A couple of things. If you recall, at the last meeting, the question was, so because we ran an ad for a code enforcement officer. Where did I put that? So did we find out if Gene's going to retire?
Well, eventually, but I don't think he's come up with a date.
He told me 1 more year,
1 more year.
that's what he told me.
All right, so since the meeting, you asked him,
Yes,
and it's a year.
yes.
All
That's what
right.
I would do.
Gary, that concrete, is it the whole slab in there, or is it just on the one side?
No, it's pretty much goes,
Remember, those had a step in it. and we-
even in the pavilion, it's gone bad.
Yeah, I know. But, wow, then they blast up there. That
It doesn't last forever, you know that, and
Because those
dangerous.
slabs used to come out and drop down about 4 inches, and then now we fill that up level for nobody to trip
Yeah,
over it.
you know, we'll have to
I
do
just
that.
was wondering if that's the part that was coming off.
No, it's like, mostly on the east end of it is the worst.
Oh, every time they blast, it's gotta shake the crap
It's
out
just
of it.
unwrapped.
And I'm sure it does, it's come apart.
Finishing up on this, so now we have 4 candidates. All of them would require state code training.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're all aware that it would be a eventual code position. Because we originally advertised it as zoning, because that was the, you know, we assigned one job zoning, one job codes, but eventually we want them versed in both, because they overlap each other. So, you know, I have 4 candidates. I guess the question will be, what do we want to do with it? And we know Gene's leaving next year, so we should probably, before these get too old, we probably should have that discussion at our next meeting.
Yeah,
Probably put
if
one
you
on-
wait too long,
Put them on board now.
yeah, if you wait too long and they close the schools, now you're waiting another year.
Right.
Yes?
So you're looking to get 2 of the 4?
Well,
Because
No.
Gene will be gone.
No, we want to have somebody before Gene leaves.
Well, that's what I mean. You're gonna
Yes.
get one now and then eventually get another one before Gene leaves,
Yes,
middle part of next year?
and then Gene can leave. What I would, myself, what I would prefer is if the county would take it on. Because
Me too.
doing part-time employees with the experience and training they need really lends itself to a full-time position.
Charlie,
Mm-hmm.
why can't you?
I guess I have a question on the code enforcement officer. There's an issue with a permit where I live next to Crockett. They don't meet the requirements set forth by the planning board. How do we get a COA?
Is that a building that requires?
Oh, yeah.
There's no occupancy in it.
You can't occupy the building for a person in as a CO. We've had conversations, you and I. I think it's time the whole board knows. I have a major problem with my neighbor. I think everyone in the room knows I have a major problem with my neighbor. He runs what is a commercial business right up against my house. Town, they give him a variance to build even closer to my house than he should have been allowed to. I have a huge dust, mold, and algae issue on my property, which seems to get ignored. Told the zoning board about it, told the planning board about it, I've told you about it, and nothing gets done. So I need to know what can be done. He continues to grow, continues to impact my property adversely, costing me financial money, fixing things, taking care of problems, and probably, if I were to sell the property, its value's been replenished. So, what are my recourses? There's no question it's coming from his property.
Where is this?
Now it's a blue house.
Right in front of Crockers.
Crockers.
Down the road from you.
North Carolina.
So what is my recourse? The code enforcement officer does nothing. Jerry did nothing. I pointed it out to Jerry, and he basically said I was complaining. He raised the grade 2 feet where he wasn't supposed to. He can look over into my pool from that. They were supposed to put a barrier between us, never happened. So what do? I know he's gonna build another building soon. I see the blocks coming. How can he get a permit if he doesn't satisfy his last permit? How does that get overlooked?
Well, the building itself would fall under codes. The site plan, would that follow under our local law, or?
So that building was built 10 feet closer than it was supposed to be. ZBA gave him a variance, even after I objected, explained it on the dust, and the moss, and the noise, and they still did it. It's an ag residential area. He doesn't belong there.
He's a commercial business. There is in the code, in the code under commercial use in an ag residential area. He is a commercial business, says for agricultural use. That is not agricultural use what goes on there.
Again, and we were through it before, they applied for commercial zoning on that,
Which proves they're commercial,
and they were turned down.
and they need a special use permit to be there if they're commercial. They don't have one.
They are an ag-related business.
That is not the way that's, why is there, then what is a commercial business? What is a commercial agricultural business?
Again, it's a business that supports agriculture.
I don't think that's true. Lawyers would argue that.
Yeah, their sign says, "Thank you, farmers."
That's fine. They don't, their trucks don't stay in the state. They come in, they're cross-state.
Special use permit?
There is no special use permit. Never applied for one. If he had one, he would not be able to have it if he adversely impacted a neighbor, which we all know he is. And I know it's the fact that, oh, it's just one neighbor, so who gives a damn? But I'm the neighbor. I give a damn.
Is there bathrooms in that building?
No, it's just storage. Fertilizer storage, by the way. There's a mixing plant directly behind my house. It is not, it is, but that's not what it's there for, agricultural use. Doesn't say anything about agricultural business in the code.
Bill's tried everything else.
The town's looked the other way for 20 years.
I'll look at the code again because there is such a thing as ag-related businesses.
That's how we got there.
Strongly doubt it. It's not the business it was when Buckley had it. All his vehicles are commercial. He has interstate trucking. Trucks parked there overnight. It's not a residential business. He should never be allowed to be so close to me. The town let it happen anyway. He raises the grade without permission. No one makes him knock it back down. You can walk on that upper grade and look over my pool fence. My pool cover is disgusting in the summer from algae from that property. Something needs to be done.
Doesn't the town have something about building berms?
Can't anymore. He's too close.
No, I'm talking about, you can't change
Oh, raising grade.
raising grade.
He did it in the parking
I
lot.
believe there's something in the code for that.
He did it with the building. If you talk to Bill Ellis, he says right there that the requirement is not to raise the grade any place other than where the building was. He did it anyway. And those blocks he puts up, you can say they're not permanent, but I mean, what the shit, you need a big enough equipment in those blocks, you can knock the building down with that equipment.
When he got a permit, was it inspected? To
By
notice?
Jerry.
Well,
Well, Mullen was part of that way back when too.
Lester.
Mullen.
Way back.
Yep, I remember coming to and hearing him talk on it. So it has been an issue for a long time as well. Because they got mad and asked a couple questions and the owner and his attorney, they started going nuts and I was like, I thought it was just an easy question. Just a question.
Every time he comes here, he comes with a lawyer.
There are worse agricultural businesses to get, and
I could put a rendering plant up there if I wish, couldn't I?
yes, or finishing farm for pigs.
But that's the business when I bought the property was not that business. And the special use permit they had was for a mechanics garage. So I don't know where it got so out of control. But it belongs in a commercial lot. It does not belong next to a house.
Being that's permitted so long, the town might have an issue. They might get sued if they try
I
to
don't know
change
what's
it.
going to happen. Oh yeah, someone's going to get sued by the time it's all over if it goes any further.
I think what you're gonna find is, our zoning law doesn't prevent it, and the state ag and market laws probably protect it.
I would say possibly, except for the dust on my property causing algae and moss and mold. If if that's what's gonna happen, but I can't believe it's acceptable for one neighbor to destroy another neighbor's property. I can't believe the town allows it.
Sounds all right? Same thing.
That's what I got. Everyone says, oh, it's no big business, big deal, they don't live in this town. Bill Craft does not live in this town. Dave Carroll, his right-hand man, does not live in this town. So if it's all about the people, then I think that's a bunch of crap.
You got the same problem right down to English. They put that building up there on the side road. Oh, it was for his farm. Well, it wasn't for his farm, it was a commercial business. They're selling seed corn out of it, storing it in there for somebody besides him.
That's an ag-related business.
Huh?
That's an ag-related business.
I don't think the code says that. I think it says.
Yeah, but I can't raise rabbits at my house. It's within the town. Can't have a little business on town in Route 5 here. Can't start up a business. But they can put that had nothing to do with English. He was renting that out. That was a private, he was making money on the rent. That had nothing to do with his farm. He got away with it. He just looked the other way and that's the way it goes.
If it's seed corn, there's lots of farms that double up selling seed corn along with the farm.
I can't believe he doesn't have a runoff down there into the creek. I can't believe that. He got 30 trucks sitting out there and 40 tanks.
It all runs.
And all this dust and stuff that flies around there, and it rains and the water runs down there. Where's it going? It ain't going up, it's going into the creek. Now where the hell's the DEC? Somebody should be down there correcting that. They went after the town, or they went after the golf course over here. They had that weed stuff in the creek and they were cutting it and just letting it float away, and DEC saw it, they come right over there. Man, they put a stop to that. They got their uniforms on and their masks and everything. That's just for kill you. They got, DEC saw that. I don't know why they don't see that down there. Whatever.
All right, so again, what do you guys want to do?
Ag and markets law.
What's that?
Check the ag and markets law. What does that say?
No, we can have our attorney do that.
Yeah. Let's find out.
Okay, you're gonna do that then? No, I mean, no, I'll send a letter to the attorney asking that we have a question on a agriculture-related business. What are the appropriate state laws on that?
Follow up.
All right.
Has that been asked to be done before?
What's that?
I have procured 20 trees, Christmas trees. Ooh, two. We'll have them out at Island Park. And if you would like one, it's first come, first serve. Just let me know. Please decorate them with solar lights. And I think I put the 25th to 28th to decorate them. And then by mid-January to have all decorations taken down. The highway department's gonna put them up for me.
Are they potted trees, or they're gonna dig a hole and then
No,
put them in?
cut trees are gonna be staked.
Oh, and they're just gonna
Set
rope
on
them
the
down?
ground.
Oh, okay.
They'll be staked and set on the
All
ground.
right, so you don't need a tree for the gazebo anymore?
Yes,
Yes, we do.
yes.
Yes.
We still need a tree for the gazebo. This is to enhance that.
I emailed you yesterday, Barb, I'd like one.
Over
I will
there,
put you on.
those trees?
Like Oakfield and that do it in their
Similar to
park.
that.
Leroy do it in their park.
Elba.
Pavilion,
Elba, I believe.
Everybody does something to there. They haven't been doing anything.
We'll
Gary?
beginning.
Gary, we're doing it.
I know, you're
Knock it
not
off. We're doing it. So, No, we just ask that you decorate, just let me know, because there's only 20, first come, first served.
Yeah.
We don't have Mike Musk out here anymore to throw toilet paper up in the trees. Then he'd bring the telephone company truck down to clean them up. And he was the judge.
Yeah, I'll put tags on the trees so you know which one's yours. That's all I got?
I'm gonna hit the garage.
Okay. I considered it. June?
Let's pay the bills and go home.
Make a motion to pay general fund, number 11, $17,177.62.
See, it wasn't released there.
Are the folks in close? Oh, you want to pay attention to them? That one, or
Oh, all one?
like that one?
Okay, two.
Okay, make a motion to make highway number 11, of $27,850.
That's it. Yeah, we didn't have.
Or that one in the name. But those will be the bigger ones. I like that one.
Right now.
In the center, Tom, we're gonna leave the ones that they put up, but they're gonna have to be lowered.
General fund, it's good, 7782. Forgot the comment.
I get it.
All in favor? Paying that?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll check out.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Yes.
First we'll go back around.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Adjourn.
Always I sign.
10:15.
Hey, Ron,
What?
on them applicants, how are we gonna do it then? What do you wanna do, set up a time to interview them, or what do you?
Should do something.
Or get one going, that's weird.
I know one's gonna highly recommended.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go.